Clutch Trucker is filmed before a live studio audience. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. This is kind of a personal video, a response to Justin Wood. Woody Trucker, I think is what you were called. You're one of the first trucking video blogs I found on YouTube, and I watched a lot of your videos. I loved your Crush It or Keep It on the Blue Parrot 550, what a piece of junk that was. I did one all about how the 450 was a piece of junk as well, and I ended up settling on the old Blue Tiger, this newest one they have, which has where you can add the second piece on the other side. I got it stuck up here, and it goes on there. Anyway, that was one of my first videos I ever did on my channel, here on the Clutch Trucker channel. But I was just finished watching your video all about how the Woody Enterprise Trucking, I think is what you called it, something like that, Woody Transcontinental Trucking, had failed, and all about why. And I had to respond to that because you say you're 33 years old in February this year. I'll be 53 years old, 20 years older than you, here in April of this year. And I've been in trucking about 10 years, as an owner-operator about the last 7. And a lot of the lessons you learned in trying to run your own business and create a fleet, I can sympathize with. I ran a radio station for 13 years, and running any business is a major education. The main reason I wanted to make this video, kind of to respond to you and your video on how your business failed, is you learned a lot of the lessons that I learned in my business, radio, which has nothing to do with trucking, but running a business is running a business. And as you found out, you made some mistakes, and you tried to make it grow too fast, and you had things that were out of your control, and that's the problem. So much is out of your control. I tried to own and operate a radio station for 13 years on my own. My wife and I did, in Wyoming, and we were struggling, and the last 4 years of it, I had to get a CDL, a B, and drive coal miners to work as a second job, just so I could keep my radio station alive. After 4 years of doing that, it was like, okay, it's time to move on. And the guy who owned the radio station across town was willing to buy me out for everything I'd put into this one, and I'm like, fine, take it, it's yours, I'm done with this. Even though radio is my passion, that's what I always wanted to do, and I loved it, but as a business, it was the wrong time to be in radio. Who listens to the radio anymore? Hello? Nobody under the age of 30, that's for sure. So I knew it was time to get out, and that's when I moved full-time into trucking. So I just kind of want to let you know, hey, there's other guys out there like me who have tried running our own business, and even though my business was not in trucking, you learned a lot of lessons about basic business running, and how to, and what you should do different. And so I really enjoyed watching that video. Yeah, it was pretty long, about an hour and a half. I think my longest video is about 17 minutes, but what can I complain about? You've got like thousands of subscribers. I've got 75. So, I've been doing this just under a year. You've been doing it a lot longer as far as the YouTube thing. So I've got a few things I want to touch on and just basically let you know, hey, there's a lot of us out here who can sympathize, and a lot of reasons why. Well, first off, you've got the perfect name. Your first name being Justin, that's my oldest son's name, so awesome there. And I really enjoyed your videos, like the Crush It or Keep It and stuff like that. But like I say, you learned a big lesson at only 33 years old, after running a business for years and trying to make it work. I did that in my late 20s, early 30s as well, and then finally had to give up on that. But I'm still now running my own business as an owner-operator in trucking. I did not go the getting my own authority route. I've been an owner-operator for 7 years. I'm now on my 3rd company that I'm leasing to, and that's the key. And this is kind of what I wanted to touch on, that you kept talking about in your video. You can make more money as a company driver than you can trying to be an owner-operator and growing a fleet. And that's the big caveat. You were trying to grow a fleet and you were saying you could only make about 3% on that business, and that's the problem, and you've learned that. I just kind of wanted to clarify, you can make it out here as an owner-operator, but you gotta think smaller, and this is what I've been doing. Now, I'm sure, Justin, Woody Trucker, one of the biggest things you probably realized was the biggest hurdle in your business is people. Because, you know what, most people suck, unfortunately. And as you said, you worked really hard trying to find the right people as drivers. Hiring and employing people is the hardest part of owning any business. I owned a radio station for 13 years, and that was our biggest challenge, was finding people who would show up. You think you give them a job and they might actually want to show up for it. But as I'm sure you know, a lot of times they don't. So in short, that's one of the big lessons I learned after owning my own business is employees and people are the worst part. So when I got into trucking, I, was a company driver for a few years at first, and then finally transitioned into being an owner-operator. And I learned a lot along the way because, of course, I was new to trucking. I'm now on my third truck. My first two killed me. The first truck maybe broke. It was a 2008 Cascadia, and that was, of course, the year when they had the Detroit Series 60 14-liter engine that they tried to retrofit with all the stuff to make it carb compliant and everything. That engine about killed me. I had it rebuilt. Floyd's Freightliner in Cheyenne, who I will never go to ever again, even though they're the hometown Freightliner. I don't go to them. About killed that truck when they rebuilt it. I had to sell it. I moved on to my second truck, a 2011 Freightliner. It was killing me. It was nickel and diming me with all the sensors going out, and every time you go into the shop, $1,000. You know what I'm talking about. I know. I don't have to tell you, Justin, Woody Trucker. So I finally got my third truck, which is a 2016 Freightliner Coronado. It's a glider. It's got the 1999 Series 60 Detroit in it. So for one, I don't have to run E-logs. Of course, that wasn't my goal at the time. My goal was just to have a better engine that had been proven that anybody can work on without all the def and after treatment sensors and all that crap nickel and diming me to death. Because I figured that's the only way I'm going to be able to make a living as an owner-operator. So since I bought this truck in 2016, actually it's become fairly manageable. The first two trucks about damn near killed me. My parents had died. I ran into a little bit of money, so I was able to stay afloat during that time because of that. But if it hadn't been for that, I would have been down and out as well. My main point on making this video is, you kept talking about how you can make more money as a company driver than you can as an owner-operator. But I know you're only referring to as an owner-operator trying to grow a fleet. This is where you needed to think small, and I think you figured that out. I'm just one truck, and this is all I plan to stay at for a long time. I'm not sure I'm ever going to grow this business because I'm making enough money as an owner-operator leasing to a company and staying under their authority. And of course, that was your other big challenge, is when you tried to make your own authority. You found out how difficult that was. Okay, so here I am in a decent truck that's not nickel and diming me to death. The single most expensive repair I've had on this truck, single most expensive one repair, is replacing the radiator. That'll happen on any truck. Okay, outside of that, it's mainly small wiring issues, little issues here and there. You gotta do brakes, you gotta do tires, you gotta do that on every truck. Okay, you can kind of budget for all that. It's the big crap and those sensors and all that stuff, and like your trouble with a truck going into the ditch and $12,000 to get it out, and somebody killing your transmission and $40,000 for that, that's gonna kill you. So, that's why I'm just one single guy with one truck, but I just wanted to make this video mainly to say, here I am as one guy running one truck under somebody else's authority, and I'm happy to stay there right now, and I'm making money. And I'm doing a lot better than that 6% or 3% you were talking about. But you gotta be really careful, and you gotta be, it helps if, like you or like you've already run a business once, and you've seen it fail, and you've learned a lot of lessons. So I've learned a lot of lessons, and this is the last truck I'm ever gonna own. Because if this engine blows up, I'm just buying another rebuilt engine for it. or I'm going to get this one done on an in-frame for many reasons, because it's a much more reliable engine than all the newer ones with the def and after treatment and all that crap. Plus, anyone can work on it. It either runs or it don't. There's no in between. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper to rebuild or drop a new rebuilt one in it. So, and of course, there's the advantage of the paper logs. I'm sure they'll try to make me get on e-logs at some point anyway, but that's another issue. But I just wanted to say, basically, overall, I'm making a money. I'm doing okay. Like you, last year killed me with the rates. God, man, a lot of those rates, $1.30, $1.40 a mile, it was killing me. And of course, then I got hit with a huge tax bill, also about killed me. But I survived because this truck wasn't killing me. And that's why I'm not getting rid of this truck. So, just kind of wanted to say, I understand, I sympathize, I understand what you went through. I felt a lot of the same things in radio, trying to run my own radio station. But I think I just had to make this also to say there are some of us owner-operators out there who are making better money than a company driver, a lot more money actually, but we've had to work at it. And like I say, it took 2 other trucks previous to this one for me to figure out what I needed to do, and a lot of that is to have the right kind of truck. And I'm doing dry van now. I used to do reefer, and that was killing me too. So I'm doing pretty good overall. Hopefully 2020 will be better, and I hope 2020 will be better for you in your new ventures with real estate. That sounds interesting, and I hope it goes well for you. So this is kind of a very personal response to Justin Wood, Woody Trucker. I loved your earlier videos. Like I say, you're one of the first YouTube truck drivers I ever watched. And I started making my own videos last year, and I've been having fun doing it. And if for nothing else, I just do it for me as a way to wind down at the end of the day. Like I say, I've only got 75 subscribers, but we're trying to build it up. Anyway, so just had to respond to that. Owner-operators, you can make money. You just got to be real careful about it. And like Justin said in his videos, you got to have some reserve. You got to have good credit, because some things are going to come up that you're not going to be ready for, and you got to be able to pay for it and keep working. And of course, I try to do as many small repairs as I can myself. I've got a whole bunch of videos all over this channel all about doing minor wiring repairs, light repairs, replacing bulbs, airline fixes, you know, whatever you can, doing my own shocks. Anything like that you can do on your own, you're going to save money, and that's how you have to make it. And Justin, I'm sure you are agreeing and nodding with me on this, because you know what it's like. So I just had to respond, and I hope your new ventures go well. I will continue to check in with you on your channel, and hopefully now you'll continue to check in with me. So kind of a personal video to another YouTuber. Like I said, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing. Less than a year I've been doing it, but you were kind of my inspiration to start doing this, and I've been having a good time. And you got the right name. What can I say? For those, for you and everybody else tuning in who might be tuning into this, as always, please subscribe, please ring the bell, please like, please comment. I do read your comments, and I do respond. It may not be right away, but I do respond. As always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch out.